How's it going out there tonight? Whoa.
You stumped me now.
Check out our website, mannimalresearch.com. Thanks to everybody. Hello. How's it going out there, everyone? Happy Friday to you all. Those of you watching it, hanging out with us live tonight, those of you that will catch it later, we sure do appreciate it. I apologize for the late start there. We were having a bit of technical difficulty. Couldn't get the either my mic or my guest speaker. One of us wasn't connecting, but we got it fixed, so we are ready to go. All right, I hope everyone out there is doing well since we last hung out. Let's see who we got hanging out with us. Miss Sandra, how are you doing, ma'am? Always love clicking over and seeing Sandra there. Miss Piper, she's always the first one in line. Brian, Sasquatch Odyssey, what's up, brother? How's it going, bud? Thank you for stopping by. I got to hang out with Brian last night for a little while. Did the follow-up to the Janice Carter interview that we did a couple years ago. You know, Brian redid those two episodes and shared them on his channel and invited me back to do a follow-up and got that done last night. Brian, real quick, when can we expect that episode to be released? Just let us know when you get a chance, bud. All right, Hiker X. Thanks, bud. Elizabeth Martin. Thank you very much, guys. Hope everyone is doing well. As always, guys, I want to ask you to hit that subscribe button if you have not done so already. Show us continuing to grow. We're heading in the right direction, and that's what we like to see. If you have had an encounter with the big guys or a dog man or UFO, Chupacabra, Nessie over there at Loch Ness, any of them, you want to come on and share it, be happy to talk to you. You can get us at Mannimal Research at yahoo.com. Be happy to talk to you about that and get you to come on and share those with everyone. Real quick. Brian says he was editing it today. It will drop Sunday. Good deal. Thank you, buddy. So guys, be looking for that Sunday over at Sasquatch Odyssey. If you haven't followed to Brian over there at Sasquatch Odyssey, you're missing out, guys. He does an amazing job over there. The growth that guy has done in just a year. Time is incredible. It really is. So guys, check him out at Sasquatch Odyssey. All right, as I was saying, hit us up at Mannimal Research at Yahoo to talk about coming on and sharing your encounter. I've said it a million times. I'm gonna keep saying it until we have one of these things to study. The best way to learn about them is from talking to people that have seen them. That's it. That's the only way that we're going to be able to continue to put this puzzle together is by talking to people that have witnessed them. So, be happy to talk to you about coming on. Also, we have a Facebook, Mannimal Research on Facebook. So check us out over there. If you haven't already become a member, head on over and do so. We'd love to have you. All right, got a guest on tonight. Mr. Kyle Yates from Texas is going to be coming on to hang out with us. And if you have a question tonight for Kyle, we welcome those. Love to have them. But if you do, please put those in all caps. Makes them easier for me to see. Ever since I've moved to a one-host platform a couple weeks ago, it's especially hard for me to keep up with them now, being by myself. That's what our buddy Walls would primarily do on the show. It was keep an eye out for questions, and then send them over to me, and I would get those on. So guys, put those in all caps, and if I don't see it, I apologize. If I don't get to it, type it again, send it again. It's just because I didn't see it. So yeah, put those in all caps so I can see them. Guys, check out our website, unscriptedpodcast.com. As I announced last week, the name of this show moving forward is Unscripted. So we have a website, a TikTok, and Instagram. So check all those out, guys. I sure would appreciate it. All right. All of that being said, all of that is done. All right. Like I said, guys, we got a gentleman on tonight, Mr. Kyle Yates. Kyle started out doing paranormal investigations out in Texas. Started doing paranormal ghost hunting, and has recently moved over to the cryptid side. He's got a buddy, actually 2 episodes ago, his buddy, and his name is escaped, Adam. Adam was on. I got Adam from Kyle, they're buddies, and Kyle sent Adam my way. We had Adam on a couple weeks ago. A really cool guy. I had a good time with him. But yeah, Kyle has kind of come over to our side and done some cryptid hunting, and he's going to come on and share some of that along with some paranormal. And Kyle is the host of the Vibes Broadcast Network, a podcast. He is a fellow podcaster. So guys, if you haven't done so, head on over and check him out. He does a little bit of everything. I was on Kyle's show about a month ago. It's how we met, and we've talked a little bit since. He sent me a couple of people to have on, and I'm trying to do the same for him, but he's a really good guy. We're going to get him on here in just a minute. But again, that's the Vibes Broadcast Network. Head over there and check him out. When he comes on, we'll let him plug it and tell you all the ways you can find him, everywhere you can find him. But yeah, we're going to get to it. I want to mention the Squatch Out real quick. We got that coming up in about a month. What's today's date? 16th? A month from today, it'll be winding down. So less than a month away, the 14th of October is when we're going to kick that off. Friday night, we're going to have a storytelling session. That I'm really looking forward to that. That's something new that we're doing this year. Going to try it out, and that's going to be exciting. The lady's going to come on and tell some. She's going to try to keep it cryptid related, Bigfoot mainly. I think there's going to be some Dogman, but it's going to be local stuff, stuff in our region. You know, in the Southeast Tennessee, North Georgia area, in that area. So I think that's pretty cool. So she's going to come on and do that. Saturday night, we're going to have our speakers coming on. I think we're going to have Connor, Bigfoot Anon, leading us off on Saturday night. And then my good buddy, friend of the show, Mannimal investigator, Dr. John Baranchuk, will be following Connor, coming up second. And then closing us out is going to be Brian. You know, just talk to Brian. From Sasquatch Odyssey. Brian's going to be the final speaker that night. So it's going to be fun, guys. And as I've said a little bit, after those 3 get on there and do their thing, we're gonna have like a round table, including you guys, the people that are there. Y'all can ask questions. And what we're going to be discussing in that is what, you know, because Connor is more of a woo guy. He's out. Connor's all over the place, and he believes in the woo. John is a doctor. He is very scientific. He's one of the smartest, probably the smartest man I've ever known, smartest friend I've ever had. I can say that. I've had a bunch of dummies. But John's very intelligent. He's very scientific. So we're going to get on there, and Brian kind of rounds it all out. Brian, you listen to his show. He talks to them all. Gets them all on there. So Brian will be kind of an interesting in the middle. We're going to get on there and talk about, you know, the two sides and what they can do to work together. Bring the woo and the scientific community together and work out some of these issues, and just what we can do to together to try to to fill in the gaps there, basically. So yeah, check today, and there's only 8 slots left, guys. So I think there's like 36 total in the campground. There's only 8 left. Got to believe that just about all of them are coming for the Squatch Out, so it's going to be a good time. All right, guys. All of that being said, I am going to shut up, and I'm going to bring the coyote over, Mr. Kyle Yates. Kyle, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, man, wonderful. It's been great since I last talked to you. My schedule has just blown up. I'm scheduled all the way almost to November.
Oh, wow. That's a good thing, man.
No, it's absolutely a great thing. It's a great problem to have. To say
Yeah, it really is. Tell everybody about your show, where they can find it, what you do, the type of guests you have on.
Okay, well, as you stated before, it's the Vibes Broadcast Network. I do several shows on there. The one paranormal show I do is called Into the Pit, and that was actually the first podcast I ever did. That's what got me into it. Chance meeting with Mr. Adrian Paul. If you're familiar with who he is, if you don't, he played the Highlander on TV back in the 90s. But I met him and had a great conversation. I actually had him on my show. He wasn't into the paranormal, but I made it work anyway. But he inspired me to kind of branch off, and that's when we started doing Listen to the Vibes, which is a positivity show. It's there to inspire and to motivate people. I have life coaches, entrepreneurs, authors, musicians, actors, just a wide variety of people. And
how long have you been doing it, Kyle?
oh my gosh, I've been podcasting now for 5-6 years.
It gets in your blood, don't it?
Yeah, if you don't love it, I wouldn't start it.
Very cool, very cool. Now, what got you interested in this the paranormal, this ghost hunting stuff?
Oh, great question. As a child, I had a lot of things that happened that I couldn't explain. Uh, One, I used to collect little cars like Hot Wheels and things like that. I kept them on a shelf in my room, and there was a car on there that I had built out of wood in my grandpa's shop. It was the only thing on there that I made. That was not Hot Wheels related. And I would wake up in the morning, and it would be turned the opposite direction from the rest of the cars. Now, I'm OCD. Everything has to be perfect in line, that kind of thing. So that was one of the first things that happened to me. Did I saw what I thought was a ghost? Um, can't say for sure if I was just in between awake and asleep, but it appeared to be a ghost, and it would look like a suit of armor, more of like what the Spaniards used to wear. And
So what were the circumstances behind that? That's freaky.
I woke up and I saw it. That's
As a child?
As a child. And, I don't know if it's exactly was a ghost, but that was pretty vivid imagination for a little kid. When I graduated high school, I moved to a friend of mine's house, and where he lived was, if you're familiar with the Battle of San Jacinto.
I'm not. No.
Okay, well, it was a pretty big deal here in Texas, and that was part of the battlefield where all these homes were at. I saw something run across the yard, went to investigate. Nothing was out in the yard. It looked like a man running across. And I'm telling you, it couldn't have just hopped the fence. because on the other side of the fence was a very, very deep ditch, and it was concrete. So if you jumped over that, you're going to be hurting. In the same home, I woke up to music, and it was coming from my stereo. Now, this is a stereo from the 80s. It had one of those big old square buttons on it you had to push in to turn the power on.
I remember.
Yeah, so it's not like a power surge would have done this. You had to push the button in. So, what was it? Don't know. But I assume it could have been a ghost. But different things like that would happen. There's a few other instances I can't think of at the moment, but that got my curiosity up. And years go by, ghost hunters came on television. I didn't even know ghost hunting was a thing, but
Yeah.
I was hooked from get go, and I said one day I'm going to join a team, and not only am I going to join a team, but I'm going to investigate with those guys. And so, lo and behold, got a divorce. 10 years go by, met my wife that I have now. She was a paranormal investigator. I got invited to be on their team, and so my first thing I said I was going to do happened. And the wife and I got married and went to Ohio for our honeymoon. You say, why Ohio? Well, that's where the Ohio State Reformatory is. If you're familiar with that, it was the prison that they filmed Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
It's haunted. And we got to investigate, and we got to investigate with the guys from Ghost Hunters. So, second thing I said was going to come true came true. Didn't work out with the team I was on. The lady that ran it, she was more in it for fame, wanting to get on television, and she didn't really care about the clients. I'm all about helping people any way I can, even if it's just to say, you're not crazy. This is really happening, or I can explain this so you don't have to worry about it anymore. So went to another team. That didn't work out. Went to another team. That guy was using it as excuse to cheat on his wife. So I was like, no, not for
He's
me.
getting creative though. You got to give him. Got to give him style points.
I give him props for that, I guess.
Yeah.
But I finally looked at my wife and I was like, we've got all this experience. We've got equipment. Why don't we just start our own team? And so we did. And I started investigating on our own, and I loved it, but it still didn't seem like it was enough. And I just told my wife, I said, you know what? It would be awesome to start a podcast and talk to other people who do this. And that's a story of that, and I'm sticking to it.
Now, are you still running that in paranormal group?
Yes, we still
What's
have
it called?
It's called Pit Paranormal, which is why I called my show Into the Pit. But
Okay, very cool.
Pit is Paranormal Investigative Team Texas. And,
Okay. Now, while you were talking there, something caught my attention. You had said the first lady wasn't interested in helping the clients. Now, I find that interesting. So you guys would actually go out and help people. People would contact y'all when they felt like they were having a haunting going on. How does that work? And when someone calls, what do they get? What kind of service do y'all perform?
well, first off, when they contact us, it's either email or they would call. And then you'd have one of the people from the team go through a series of questions just to kind of get an idea of what we're up against. And then, hello, Sandra. We would go and we do, of course, do baseline kind of stuff, see if there's any, like maybe you've got a power outlet that's bad or something, and you get you get a reading off of it, or whatever. We go through and check everything out, and then we'd spend the whole night got cameras set up. We do our EVP sessions. Just pretty much what you see on television, but we do extra.
So
And
your goal is to debunk, basically. You go
that's
up.
yeah, that's pretty much what I that's what I'm all about. I want to try to find what is a reasonable explanation for what's going on. And if you can't find anything that you could say this is what it really is, well, then you have something to talk to the client about. I mean, a lot of times, like I went to one house and they were telling us all these things that happened to them. I decided I would go up in the attic and I would check it out up there. But this house was old. And I don't know how many people out there would remember this, but they used to put like this cloth material over the wiring instead of the plastic. Well,
Yeah, I
that's
don't remember that.
oh that's stuff they started doing. I don't know, maybe 20s, 30s, what have you. And they had this up in that attic, and somebody had actually cut a big portion of it off, had taken wires, wrapped them around that wire, and had a light up there. So I got a pretty big reading off of that, and then to top it off, they had a transformer right directly over their backyard. So you were getting readings off of that.
Hmm.
Apparently they were sensitive, so I think that's where they got most of their activity from. Uh, EMF can affect people in different ways. Some people get sick, get headaches. You can have, um, like, you would see stuff that's not there.
Now tell the audience what EMF stands for.
That's an electromagnetic field.
Okay.
Basically, if you have a source that's not grounded properly, or there's forgot what I was going to say, but anyway, if you can get a big reading off of it on your equipment, it'll make it light up all the way. So that's that's stuff that I'd look for.
Yeah,
Octopus, different, all kinds of different things.
I imagine though someone calls you up and says, "I saw an old lady in a long white dress vanish into the wall." I mean that sort of thing is a little bit hard to debunk. I mean, you kind of know what you're looking for going out there like that, but you're talking about like if lights come on or
Um,
something, or if a stereo starts by itself or something like that. You go out there and try to explain why something like that might be happening.
yeah, exactly. Um, Sometimes though, you could see something, but it's in your mind and it's being affected by the EMF.
Okay.
I mean, you can have a what do you call it? It's like oh my god, brain fart time. But anyway, you could see stuff that's not there.
Yeah, a
It's
hallucination.
a hallucination. That's the word I was trying to think of.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. I I'm sure the audience is curious. I know I am. What's the scariest thing you've ever come across on one of your investigations?
Scary.
There's something that just creeped you out that just bothered you.
Oh, well, let me tell you this. We went to a storage facility in Crosby, Texas. And Crosby is an area where there used to be a lot of Native Americans. So I think that's probably where this activity is coming from. And I know some people will say, no, it's not for real, but I believe it's true. There's a house there that was really, really haunted. And the movie Poltergeist was based on that house. I know some people will say, no, it's not. I believe it is. But anyway, back to the storage facility. We were going around just kind of doing baseline stuff. Got in this one area by myself, And while I'm there, something got in my ear and kind of breathed in my ear. Mind you, there's nobody there but me.
Oh wow.
And then there came a point when we were doing the investigation where it sounded like a hailstorm was going off, but inside the building. Could
Hmm.
not figure out what was causing. It wasn't a breeze making the doors move. It sounded like something was pounding on these doors. That would cause anybody to kind of freak out a little bit.
Oh, I'd say so. Yeah. Did you ever see any apparitions or anything?
I have yet to actually see one in person, but I have captured some on camera and on video.
Really?
Hmm.
Okay. I
Yeah.
wish I would have. I can't believe I didn't. I always ask my guests if you have any pictures you'd like to share to send them to me so we can share them.
Man, I wished I would. I would have sent you the video that looks like a fairy is following me.
This is just bad podcasting. I'm unprepared, man. I hate that. I will try to I'll get that from you, and I will try to put that up on our channel for those to see if you don't mind. I'll
Oh no,
share.
I don't mind. The link is on my YouTube. I could send you that too. I actually edited it so you could hear what was going on, and I put the words on the screen so you could tell what it was saying.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. Send that to me, and I'll share that on
yeah,
our Facebook. And go ahead and give your YouTube channel a plug.
once again, the Vibes Broadcast Network, and you will find several shows on there, including my positivity show, the paranormal. Uh, do a show every once in a while with a lady who's a therapist, and we talk about uh, relationships. And hopefully soon, I will be doing another show. It's going to be more history based, and it's with the one and only Jack O'Halloran. You know, say who's Jack O'Halloran? Did you watch Superman with Christopher Reeves?
Yes,
You remember the three Kryptonians that came to planet Earth?
I,
You had the big one. He was kind of, not all there, but he
that's the
looked.
one that came to mind. Yeah.
Okay, that's Jack.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, he used to be a boxer.
He's a big dude, ain't he?
He's a big dude, and he's got so much knowledge in his head about history and things that have been considered conspiracy theories that he knows the actual answers to. So it's going to be a very interesting podcast. He's working on getting us a sponsor at the moment, and he doesn't want to start anything until he gets the sponsor. So I'm
Oh, okay.
waiting.
Okay. Now, man, I'll tell you, like you said, you kind of alluded to the whole ghost hunters when they came out on TV. It kind of took the world. I won't say the world, but the country by storm. Everybody started watching these ghost hunting shows, and they started popping up just out of nowhere, and they were interesting. They really were. You're seeing a lot of cool stuff, and like you, it got my attention, and it's something that I wanted to do, and I looked into doing, looked at equipment, and had some buddies that were interested and everything, but man, I couldn't pull the trigger. I just couldn't, and I'll tell you why. Even to this day, I'm scared to death of bringing something back with me.
Yeah,
I've
I've
heard
done that.
stories. You've done that.
Yep, that's an
See,
interesting story.
that's what I was about to ask and tell you that that's my fear. That's what kept me from pursuing going down that avenue. Is I didn't want to bring something back with me that could potentially hurt me or my family. The loved one's going to ask you if that had happened to you or if you had any firsthand knowledge of anyone that it happened to. But yeah, man, share. I can't wait to hear it.
Okay, so we did an investigation of an old abandoned hospital, and while we were there, mind you, I didn't know it happened until much later. But all the guys got together and took a picture in front of the hospital. when we went back and looked, and mind you, nobody noticed it until much later on. There's a hand that's like on my stomach in this picture. It's a translucent hand touching my stomach. And anyway, after the investigation, I started having really, really bad pains in my stomach area, and it almost felt like I had swallowed a rock. It hurt,
Hmm.
and I went to three different doctors. All the doctors did all the tests on me. I don't mean to sound gross. The colonoscopy. I mean, they did everything. Could not figure out why I was hurting so bad, and I was taking pain pills almost like candy because it was so bad. And we have a psychic medium that's on our team. She I was telling her about the stomach pains, and she said, "Hold on." She did a reading on me. She goes, "You know what? When you were at that hospital, there was a kid there in a wheelchair, and he looked at you like a father figure because he had been left there. He had been abandoned, and he really wanted to go with you, and he doesn't mean to hurt you, but him holding on to you is hurting." But she says, "But of one thing, you're not going to be able to get rid of it until you talk to Rodney." Now, let me tell you who Rodney is. Was our, uh, he's kind of like a historian. He did all the research and everything, but he, telling you brain fart time,
Hmm.
he's like our demonologist.
Okay.
Okay. He has abilities. He can dispel really bad demons and things like that when we're on investigations. So she said, "You need to talk to him. You need to talk to him now." And I called him. And I kid you not, the moment that he answered the phone, pain went away like that. Never came back. So,
Really?
mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. If I hadn't
So,
lived it, you wouldn't believe it.
what would you describe it as, like a kidney stone?
It wasn't like a kidney stone. It was more in the very middle of my stomach. It always felt like I had a rock in there, but I've had kidney stones. It's not that same pain, and it would be as if somebody was sticking a knife into my stomach. It is
Now,
awful.
you said this gentleman was a demonologist.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you called him?
Yes.
How does one become a demonologist, and what do they do?
So the majority of demonologists they study up and they learn about the different types of demons, and they're very schooled in that subject. And as far as what he does, it's just a natural ability to dispel things. I'm sure maybe you could learn how to be an exorcist or something, but it's not like that with him.
Okay. That's why I was wondering if it was something like an exorcist, like a priest or something.
I mean, some priests are demonologists. If you, what's the show? Um, I think it's the Ghosts in Morgan City, I believe. There's a gentleman on there, and I actually interviewed him. He's going to kill me if I forget his name, but he's a demonologist, so he can,
Okay.
and he's a preacher slash exorcist.
Now we have talked a little bit about the ghost hunting shows. Do you have any of those that you like, or do you feel maybe a little more credible than others?
Well,
Don't get yourself in trouble or anything, but
oh, I hear you. I hear you. If you watch a show and they spend their time trying to debunk more than say, "Oh my God, it's a ghost! It's a ghost," those are going to be a little more credible. Um, I I know almost all of them. And there's still a handful that I haven't met yet, but for the most part, I know all of them. And talking to them, getting to know who they are and what they're about, they'll open up to me too. But if I know them, I can tell you, yeah, this is for real, or it's just for show. I mean, you can kind of tell
What
there's
about the Zach Bagans, those guys? That
uh, no comment.
okay.
Zach used to be a very credible investigator. If you know who Dave Schrader is, he
I've
was
heard the
on.
name.
Well, Dave, he's Dave's. Oh my God, what was that show called he used to be on? I mean, he's on a new one on Discovery, and I can't even think of the name of it. But if you look him up, he's got a show called Darkness Radio. Dave is a very credible guy, and he used to work with Zach, and he'd tell me, yeah, that he's for real, he's for real. But other people that I know that have been on the show say, as it started getting more popular, they fake a lot of that stuff.
Seems a bit dramatic to me.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it's really cool what you said about determining a good one from maybe a not so good is those that try to debunk it rather than going in everything's a ghost. And I see like kind of a connection between ghost hunting and Bigfoot hunting
Hmm.
because we're the same way. If if I've got somebody that wants to join my group, Mannimal Research, and I go out in the woods with them, and we're out there for 2 hours, and he's had 5 instances where that could have been a Bigfoot, that's a red flag.
Hmm.
You don't want to go out in the woods with someone that everything is a Bigfoot.
Right.
Every twig breaking when you're camping, oh my God, there's a Bigfoot. Uh, a squirrel, running across the woods. Oh, did you hear that? That could be a Bigfoot. Yeah, you want to go out there with the guys. I mean, Bigfoot has to be the very last possibility, and it sounds like kind of the same way with ghost hunting. You want
Yep.
to eliminate all other possibilities until the only thing left is a paranormal, something that can't be explained.
Yep.
Is that about right?
Yeah. Well, with me, if you go to like my Facebook and my other social media, you won't find a whole lot of evidence on there because I'm a hard butt. My wife and I will argue over some of the evidence because say no, it could be this, it could be this. I'm just that way. But if I get something that I'm not sure of, I will post that, but I'll also post it with what do you think? What do you think this could be? And if somebody comes up with a logical explanation, then I might tend to believe it. But some of the stuff we get on there, I don't know how you debunk it.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean that's the way to be right there. If you're a hard ass like you said, and don't give a whole lot of evidence because you're not finding it, then when you do find something, people will take it more serious.
Right, right.
If you're always debunking and finding out, maybe it's not a ghost, maybe it's not this, that when you do find something that might be a ghost, it's going to get people's attention.
Yeah. I think you're gonna it's gonna be one of those, it's one time out of 10 you might find a ghost, a real paranormal
Yeah.
activity, and sometimes it's even further between. But you just never know. We were at a house in Spring, Texas, and I left the digital recorder going while we were sleeping. And since it was guys and girls, we let all the girls sleep on one end, and then this guys slept on the other end of the house. We got up, and I was going through the EVPs, and lo and behold, there was one. It sounded like a ghost was having sex in our room, and it was
Really?
just me and my buddy. There had been no girls in the room all night. I don't sleep too well if I'm in somebody else's home, and so I wake up at you could drop a penny on the floor and I'd jump. So I would know if they were having sex or something in my room, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you heard this EVP and how loud it was, there's no way you wouldn't have woke up. It was crazy. Why is a ghost having sex in my room?
Now, haven't there been some instances where people have claimed relations with the ghost?
Yes, and it's funny you mentioned that. There's a porn star that reached out to me, and I thought, why would I have a porn star on my show? But he investigates those instances where somebody says that they have been, can I say the M word on here?
Sure.
Or, like they've been molested by a ghost.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting aspect. You know, I don't know if y'all know who Mustafa Gadalori is, but him and I are very close friends. I consider him one of my best friends. He's was on the new Ghost Hunters before they went off air, and I actually talked to him, and I'm like, "Hey, man, what do I do? This guy is talking about sex with ghosts," and he's actually, you know what? That's kind of interesting. Why don't you go ahead and do it? I said, well, I just wanted to make sure it's cool with you guys because I didn't want this to be uh, embarrassing to y'all. You know, somebody come on and say, "Oh, you got this trash on, but yet you had these guys on. What the heck?" But they were like, "Yeah, go for it." So I believe it could happen. You know, talk about succubuses and incubuses, and
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but possible. Yeah, I think so. I had never encountered it, but yeah.
Yeah. I'll be honest. When I was first contacted to do your show, I got on. I looked to see what you were about, and I saw that porn. You had titled it "Porn Star Sex with Ghosts" or something. I started, what kind of show am I? is I want me to come on to? But I started looking around, and that was the only thing like that I saw. As
Yeah.
far as your episodes, I'm glad I did go on and do the show. It had a good time. But yeah, that's something that I've heard about before, and that's crazy, man.
Yeah,
That
well, paranormal is you just don't know what could happen, what's beyond death. Uh, and I will tell you my theory is that we're made up of energy. You can transfer energy, but you cannot destroy energy. So when a person dies, I think that energy is still roaming around.
that makes
What
sense.
Yeah, what its intentions are, I don't know. Some of it I think is just wanting somebody to realize that they're there and to help them get away from here. Maybe some of it's just they're malicious.
Now I've always heard that, and there's no way of knowing this. It's speculation. I'm just asking your opinion. I'd always heard that what ghosts are spirits that were trapped here that maybe died in a tragic way and they just can't cross over. Do you have any theories on what exactly a ghost is? I mean, we all assume a ghost is a spirit left
Right.
over from a person that's passed on, but have you heard that? And what do you think?
Well, when it comes to something tragic, I think that somebody died before they were really supposed to, and there's some kind of confusion there. Maybe that energy is still here and doesn't realize that they're dead.
Hmm.
A possibility. I could be way off base. This is just my opinion, but if there's some kind of unfinished business,
Yeah.
I'm a Christian. I believe God has intentions for all of us, and I don't think we really leave this planet until whatever we were meant to do has been completed. And if something happens, because we do have free will, if something happens and you go before that is finished, maybe that's spirit is trying to figure out why.
Yeah. Man,
And we
you could
still
be
need to,
right. We
yeah,
Nobody knows that.
yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, man. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Now, I talked a little bit before we came on about you started out ghost hunting and you have moved over to the cryptid side. What got you? What made you decide to do that? And what have you been experiencing?
Well, I can tell you, I'm very much a greenhorn. I hate to disappoint, but I haven't experienced anything yet. Um, but my interest in it is, I've had a lot of people on my paranormal show. It's not just for ghosts. I talk to people that are into aliens and UFOs, and also those into cryptid. Uh, Probably know Todd Neese and myself are friends. Um, let's see, right? Was it Ronnie LeBlanc?
Hmm.
Okay, so I met him. I had him on my show. There's a few others. They're going to kill me that I forgot, but
Oh,
all these stories.
you had LeBlanc on your show, the from Expedition Bigfoot.
Hmm.
That's cool. Very
Yep.
cool.
He hasn't answered me. I wanted to have him back on with Todd. I wanted to discuss some evidence that Adam got. I don't know if he shared it with you or not, but oh my God, that was incredible.
Yeah, I know Todd. Todd's been on the show. Todd and I have talked several times. Todd Neese out on the West Coast, and Adam sent me the video that you're referring to, the roadside uh, crossing or whatever,
Yeah.
and it was interesting, man. In my opinion, there's just not enough there to tell what it is. I believe you had said you thought maybe it was a ghost,
I thought it was a ghost. I, you know,
and
I,
man,
I blew that up. I slowed it down. I looked at it, and it's not a reflection on the window. It's not something coming from outside. If you, I mean, just the way it crosses in the outline of it, I honestly thought it was a ghost. He seems to think it's, the a Bigfoot, but with some kind of camouflage to it. I don't know, man, but that's freaking incredible.
yeah, you when you interviewed me on your show, we talked about it, and you told me about it, and Adam sent it to me shortly thereafter, and here remembering what you said about it being a ghost, I don't know if maybe it just stuck in my head and I was expecting it to look like a ghost, but that's what I see. I
Hmm.
don't necessarily see a Sasquatch. Uh, but again, who knows? But it looks like, I mean, there's something there,
Oh
but
yeah,
it looks paranormal to me rather than cryptid.
yeah. I think it's a ghost. If anybody else catches it, you're gonna be like, "What the heck is that?" And believe me, I've watched that thing probably 100 times. I did every little bit of, frame by frame. I checked to see if maybe it might be a reflection. No freaking way. No freaking way.
Yeah, and I'm gonna reach out to Adam after the show, and I'm gonna ask him if he cares if I share that video on on our Facebook page. And if you said you would send me that YouTube clip of yours, and
Yeah.
I'll put it up as well. And guys watching tonight, head over there. Probably in a couple hours, I should have them on if they give me permission. If you get it to me, I'll put them up there tonight. And guys, let me know what you think about those. So
If you
so far in your cryptid career, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kyle.
I was going to say, if you want, I can also send you the interview with Adam and Todd, and it also has the clip in it. I would say watch it on a computer or a TV screen so you can see it better. Because looking at it on the phone, you're not going to be able to see it very well.
Okay.
But you can see how I edited it. Please, if you think it's something different, let me know.
Yeah, send me that whole episode, and I'll share the episode too, and I'll put the question out there. get people to have a look and let me know what they think, and I'll. Well, you're a member of the group, aren't you, Kyle?
I
Facebook group.
yeah. I'm part of
Okay.
the group.
Yeah, we'll get it put up there and see what people think about it.
Be awesome.
So in your crypt, so you're saying in your limited, very limited cryptid career, you haven't had a lot of experiences.
No,
Have you been out looking?
I've been with Adam, and we didn't have the whole group together. It was just kind of he was showing me the ropes, kind of thing. So, and I'll be honest with you too. I have a disease in my spine, and it's actually started to spread again. So, getting out and doing stuff has been more difficult. I'm about back to my wheelchair again.
Oh,
So,
well, I'm very
yeah.
sorry to hear that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's kind of put a dent in things. So until I have the next surgery, I probably won't be able to do anything. I haven't even been able to do anything in the ghost hunting. It sucks.
Oh, I didn't know that, man. You'll be in my thoughts, my prayers.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah,
No worries, man. I'm not bitter about it. It's actually opened doors for me where I get to do the podcasting full time because I'm retired now. So
yeah, doing what you're passionate about, man. I mean, that's what we all want to do, you know.
yeah, so I'm not bitter, and I have no hard feelings about the whole thing.
That's awesome. Very, very cool. I mean, there's no point in being bitter. Nothing you can do about it.
Hey, I'm gonna have to live with it either way, so what's the point of being upset?
Yeah, you got an awesome outlook, man. Awesome attitude, and
Thank
that's
you.
great, man. I very very grateful you took the time to come on and hang out with us
Of course.
tonight. Before we get out of here, plug all your stuff one more time. Where can we all find you?
Okay, so if you go to YouTube, it is the Vibes Broadcast Network. I think you can get to it by just putting the Vibes Broadcast, but all the shows that I do are under that channel. So just scroll through and whatever you want to see, watch. I had a lot of great people on the show, to say the least. If you want to find me on Facebook, my personal is Kyle Coyote Yates, and we also have the Vibes Broadcast page. We have our Pit Paranormal, and that's P period, I period, T period, T period. Listen to the Vibes on Instagram. There's the underscore under after each word, and once again, Into the Pit would be my Instagram, and so also on Twitter. Oh, thank you, Sandra. Appreciate that.
She's a sweetheart, man. She really is.
I mean, this is something I have to live with for the rest of my life. Eventually, when they finish, I'm basically going to be one whole bone instead of separate bones in my spine. So it,
Wow.
it is what it is, man. I'm on Twitter under the Vibes Broadcast, and if you want my links, I'll be glad to send them to you.
Yeah, send them over there. We'll get them all shared and see if we can get you some more followers.
And also, if you don't mind me plugging one more thing,
Go ahead, man.
I am an advocate for our veterans. They there's a lot of them that are needing not only physical health taken care of, their mental health taken care of. They go through a lot of red tape. It's very difficult for a lot of them, and even when they get in the system, there's a lot of runaround. It's awful, and I'm featuring the veterans on my show so they can tell their stories and get the word out there. But we are wanting to start up uh, it's going to be a center for the veterans, but we're going to have an apartment for them upstairs. So we're going to start hopefully with 50 apartments. We're going to try to get the homeless off the street. Some people say, "Oh yeah, make sure they're not doing drugs or alcohol." Nope, we're getting them in there even if they're on drugs and alcohol. If we're going to help them get off of it, they need to be where they don't have to worry about a roof over their head or food in their bellies. Downstairs, we're going to have a clinic. It's going to be for a doctor to take care of the physical problems. We're going to have the psychologist there to help with the mental problems. We're going to have counselors there for them to help them to get over substance abuse. Whatever problems they have, we're going to try to help take care of it. We want to also get donations from, it's going to be kind of like a Goodwill. So any donations for clothes and shoes and all those kind of things, so we can help these guys out any way we can. We're going to have lawyers on hand to help them with whatever legal problems they may have, whether it's trying to get into a hospital or get their benefits, whatever. And also we want to have somebody there to help them to start getting benefits.
That's amazing. That's really, really cool, Kyle. Nothing but respect for that, man. Where is that going to be? Out in Texas?
Yes. I'm not sure where we're going to put the facility. I mean, we still have to start getting donations and all that stuff. And I've got a lawyer that I'm working with that can help me with all the details. She's the one that's sending all the veterans to us. So if you could at least get on our channel, and you can see the videos that I've done with the lawyer and with the main guy that is helping. His name is Damian Bennett. You can also find Damian Bennett on LinkedIn, and he also has a page on Facebook. In the description of the video is all the links, so you could just click on it and go to it. I don't remember all the links. I apologize, but get as many views as we can on there. Share it out as much as you possibly can. The money that we make on the show, we're going to donate a huge portion of it to starting this facility. But we have to start somewhere. So your help would be very, very much appreciated.
I'll do whatever I can, man. Send me the link and everything, and I'll share it. And also let me know where I can send a donation. Be happy to send a few bucks that way, and share it in the Facebook group, and maybe some of our other viewers will send you some too. Yeah, I'll do anything I can to help, man. It sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'll send you the PayPal. It's under my name, but I can guarantee you that it's going for a good cause. So I'm not going to be going to Hawaii or anything.
Yeah. All right, man. Yeah, send that stuff over. Send it to me, and we'll get it shared. All right, buddy. Again, thank you so much for taking the time to come and hang out with us. Cool talk, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'm not used to being on this side of it.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
It's different.
Yeah.
I thought I'd be better prepared than what I was.
All right, man. I appreciate it. You take care, buddy. Have a good night.
All right. Peace.
See ya. All right, guys. Yeah, Kyle's a cool guy. He really is. I enjoyed going on his show and talking to him. We've talked a few times since by text message, and he's an all right guy. He really is. What he's wanting to do for the vets, man, that's above and beyond. I mean, that guy, he makes me feel bad about myself. He's out there killing it, man. That's awesome. So, guys, when he gets me that stuff, I'm going to get it shared. Let's help him out. Just a couple bucks. Guys, I mean, we've all got a few dollars to spare. Most of us have a few dollars to spare. Just, send it. If we can help, let's do it. So, yeah. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight. Sure do appreciate all of the love and the support. Love you guys so very much. Thank you for all that you do. So very grateful and appreciative. Got the Squatch Out coming up. If you have not gotten your site yet and you want to come, better hurry up and get to it. Like I said, there's only about 8 sites left. All right, guys, that's all I've got. I'm going to get out of here. You guys take care of each other. Be good to each other. And we will catch you later.